Ilyas, it's good to catch up with you. There's a lot going on. Perhaps you could update us.
Hi Dan, and welcome to Blackburn again. For us, there's been a lot of change over the last few months, but we're still in petrol forecourts, doing food service and EV charging. We are now EG on the move. So as a business, we're operating simply in the UK for now. The international operations have stayed with EG Group, and what we are looking to do is grow, and you will have seen the recent media reports about us completing on Apple Green. Last year, when we separated from EG Group, we were circa 40 sites. Today, after doing the completion, we're 150 petrol forecourts across the UK. So we've not just sat on our laurels, we've been looking at, can we do an acquisition? Can we build new to industry sites? So last year, it was one of our record years where we did 14 new to industries developments as well, Fickle Mermaid being one of them.
You're probably well positioned for what the market's looking for in the UK, what the UK consumer on the road is looking for, aren't you? I mean, what is it? Perhaps I could ask what that is, Ilyas.
Yeah, so I think it goes back to the retail channels we operate. Today, we talk about mobility, food convenience. All these terms, they've become now common within the industry. But what it's really about is engaging convenience missions of consumers and having an offer there, which is just more than just the traditional fuel. What we're trying to do is, whether it's grocery and merchandise, there's enough range in there for the customers to come in, do a bit of a shop, whether it's a top up or whether they want to pick up fresh items. As long as we've got it on the shelves or in our cabinets, they can do their shop. And then comes down to food service. Big part of our business, again, big history in terms of growing with brand partners like Starbucks. This year we've opened up 2 Popeyes restaurants as well, Subway, Greggs, Cinnabon, Sbarro. All these food service brands are attractive to roadside users. So whether it's for breakfast, lunchtime or the evening trade, we have something on offer for everyone, whether they are local to one of our sites, whether people working in the surrounding area, or people traveling for social reasons. We've got something in terms of food service, and these are the draws that bring people onto our locations.
Tell us a bit about Popeyes.
Yeah, fried chicken works on our locations, and again, what's been interesting about Popeyes, not only have they entered the UK market and grown their own equity network, what's been interesting for them, they're very selective in terms of the partnerships. So when it came to talking to us about roadside drive-through locations, we were very interested given our historical kind of experience with the other chicken brands. And for us, it was very important that we got across to Popeyes the execution, the investment, the people piece. We've done this before. So for us, it was a question of absorbing the brand standards, the customer experience that Popeyes will expect from us. And we've opened up 2 restaurants in Yorkshire. So hopefully they're trading well, and we're in the process of signing up to a development agreement to grow more with Popeyes. So our target and aspiration will be a minimum of 5 restaurants a year for the next 5 years.
The UK is in the spotlight a little bit at the moment from an EV perspective, because obviously if we look at EV sales in Europe, in the European market, the UK is number 1 now in terms of EV sales. What are your thoughts in terms of the EV side of your strategy? What makes sense for you, and how do you see that developing over the next few years?
So again, EV is very interesting. The take-up might not be at the levels that we all expected, or especially government, their aspirations of kind of 2030 moving off traditional carbon fuels. It might be something as an aspiration. The reality might be different, where we might be in a phase of hybrid transition to EV. Hydrogen's brewing up in the background as well. So we don't know how it's going to kind of play out. But for us, We're making Tesla one of our strategic partners, and what we're doing there is their supercharger for hardware and software platform. We're kind of using that, but making the Tesla chargers accessible for any vehicle. So historically, Tesla were known that you had to drive a Tesla car to be able to charge on using one of their units. One of our requirements was, we don't know which vehicles are going to come. There's a lot of electric vehicles out there, hybrid vehicles out there. So it was important for us to choose a partner who had the same mindset that vehicles will be different, but the need to charge will be there. So on that premise, having this strategic partnership with Tesla is going well for us. We've got over 200 charging ports rolled out across our network. What we're also doing is, when we're developing our sites, we're putting in the infrastructure to allow us to put more charging units on, so we can commission as the demand grows. So we might initially start off with 2 or 3, 4 chargers. Again, the charging units can have up to 2 ports on them as well. So 4 charging units can charge up to 8 cars. So that's been an interesting development in terms of the hardware manufacturing. So for us, this is an interesting journey. What we're seeing is, as we're introducing EV, the demand is growing. And why is it growing? Well, people were accessing our locations as destinations. Now they're using it as an opportunity whilst they're having a coffee break or a meeting or checking their emails or doing a shop, they're leaving their cars to charge. And what's been the turning point is, earlier on, the chargers tended to be the trickle chargers. Now they're fast chargers, up to 240 kilowatt chargers that we're implementing. These have been the game changer. Within 15, 20 minutes, if you can get an 80% charge on your vehicle, you're happy, because that aligns neatly with your convenience mission in terms of visiting the site.
You have to be in the EV charging game because you're a destination anyway, aren't you? And it just adds attractiveness to that destination to have it, to be able to charge your EV while you're there, doesn't it?
Yeah, perfect. I think you've just hit the nail on the head in terms of that dwell time. Historically, if people didn't need to fill up, they'd just park up and go into the Starbucks for their meeting. Now there's a double reason. What they'll do is they'll go for their meeting still, but they now know that their EV vehicle can be charged, so they're using the facilities. So EV charging for the consumer is pivotal to our forward strategy. And what I mean by that is, not only are we investing in EV charger infrastructure on our sites, but EV charging is something wherever a customer has dwell time. So for example, staying overnight in a hotel, going to a restaurant, shopping malls, wherever there's a mission where there's a significant amount of dwell time, there's an opportunity to take EV charging into those locations. So in a sense, the forecourt is now going to show up in other locations. So this is the opportunity we see. So as part of our Tesla partnership, what we're looking to do is identify operators, retail operators, who might be considering EV charging, and they want to talk to EG on the move in terms of implementing charging units on their locations. So with EV on the move, the plan is to take it to other locations as well. What we want to do is, with our commercial model, is go into partnership, maybe revenue share, look at doing the investment, implementing it now because we've got experience of doing this on our own sites, not only for other petrol forecourt operators, but other retailers where they feel they can add value. And what we're trying to do here is, historically, supermarkets, hotels, they all had chargers, but again, they fell into the trap of trickle charging, which was very slow charging and there was no real value add. Now with fast charging, why not put 240 kilowatt chargers in the hotel car park or office car park or anywhere, shopping malls?
And you've got the advantage of this partnership with Tesla, haven't you? So you've got fantastic kit.
That's it. And for us, we've got a fantastic partner in Tesla who is working in that space. And again, They are known as kind of being leading, pioneering in developing and evolving the technology. So the whole kind of ecosystem, whether it's the vehicles to the charging, Tesla are at the forefront. And for us to have that partnership, we're very proud because they've only done it with, I think, a couple of operators to date. But this is the vision they've got as well, that if we make it accessible, there's a different business model that can be accessed.
So Fickle Mermaid, I charged my EV there this morning. How's it doing in terms of charging sessions?
Yeah, Fickle Mermaid's a fantastic site. It's new to industry. It's just been trading over 6 months. For us, it's doing about, on an annualized basis, our projection is going to do over 8 million litres per annum in terms of traditional fuel. Yeah. The shop will trade in about 1.5 million. We've got a Starbucks drive-through there, we've got a Greggs and a Subway. So the food service brands are kind of pulling in the customers, and they're doing well as well. Importantly, based on your question about the EV charging, about 28 to 30 EV charging sessions per day is the average. Now, what we're looking at is we've got sites in our network which are a lot more mature. So Calder Park, for example, it's the top of the pile when it comes to EV charging. Those charging sessions go up to about 60 per day. So, and then we've got a handful of sites, Nits Hill, we've got Saddle Inn, Cooper's Lane. They're kind of averaging about 50 charging sessions a day. So for us as a business, EV charging is there, is accessible. We are seeing the growth in it, and it's going to continue in demand. So,
but it's a game you have to play in that game because of the nature of your food service, your food convenience business.
Of course, EV charging is something, again, that a few years ago people thought, should I consider doing it? Oil majors started kind of implementing EV charging stations, dedicated facilities. But I believe with EV charging, the combination of what we're doing in terms of food convenience, the petrol side, all the other ancillary services like car wash, all that put together, EV charging now kind of just neatly dovetails all those other retail channels.
That's what I like about Fickle Mermaid, because it's got everything, hasn't it? It's got a whole combination of food choices. It's got the shop, it's got the car wash, it's got liquid fuel if that's what you're looking for, but it's also got those, the 4 Tesla chargers as well.
Yes, that's it. And again, those 4 Tesla chargers, they're single port chargers. So if we feel that the demand's growing, we don't need to dig up again. And what we can do is those single port chargers, will make them double port. So we can go up to 8 vehicles at a time as well.
So looking towards the future, I mean, if you could, looking at your crystal ball, Ilyas, where will EEG on the move be in 5 years' time, do you think? Is the growth story going to continue? Yeah,
so for us, work and passionate about being in the petrol forecourt convenience sector, the desire is still there. The proof of the pudding is the Apple Green acquisition. Shortly after separating from EG Group, we decided to complete this acquisition. We're in the process of taking over the sites. There's going to be a lot of investment in the locations as well. We believe in the petrol forecourt sector. We feel there's a fantastic opportunity by introducing non-fuel retail in each of these locations and investing in them. We're creating more destinations, and for EG on the move, what we're trying to do is create that national network again. So a bit more work to do, but we'll be still here for the next few years.
And I'll be back to find out about it. Ilyas, great to talk to you.
Thank you, Dan.